Hey everyone, this is Dr. Leslie Allen with the Center for Holistic Healing, and today I am here with Dorota, and she is going to share with you her story and her experience being in our functional medicine health coaching program. So Dorota, thank you so much for being here and being willing to share your story with everyone. It really is what people want to hear and to learn is, really what your experience was prior to coming into the program, and then how the program made a difference in your health and your life. So I'm going to let you just share with everybody kind of what was going on with you prior to contacting me.
So my journey started probably about a year ago, before I met Dr. Leslie, and it was a very actually it was a kind of caught me in a surprise. I was always a healthy person. I thought I had a good diet, never had weight issues. So I was really surprised when I started feeling just not myself. My biggest complaints were just overall body fatigue, just coming to the point where there was really hard sometimes to like go through the day. And I'm talking like, fatigue where I just sometimes had to decide if I can go to work or not. So, and for me, being that kind of successful, in my career was really surprising for myself. So that was a big obstacle. Another ones were overall, sometimes I had like a heart palpitations, anxiety attacks almost, very like weird headaches, and they are not headaches that coming from just like being tired or maybe having a flu. It was just a very like sharp punch, like kind of headaches. They're like, I call them whooping headaches because I didn't know how to explain it and what to even name them. They were just all over my head, from back to front to sides. My mood swings, because of all what was going on, just were out of control. I just felt I wasn't myself, and I turned to, obviously, as a first, instinct tells you, to your regular health provider and physician. You go, you run zillions of different tests, from blood work to urine tests, having even at this point where I complain about the headache so much, MRI done, and just ultrasounds. You name it. Every single test that they probably
You had a lot. Yes.
I did. And after all this tests coming back, and they just shaking their heads like, this test is okay, this normal results are here, this is, nothing was coming out of norm. I was just frustrated at the point where I actually did start doing my research online, and I know, as much as people think like, don't listen to internet and don't listen to other people's opinions, everybody is different. I was to the point where I just didn't know what to do. So I actually did find a holistic doctor in my area, which had I would have to say, a great Google reviews, opinions. People were putting, awesome testimonies. So that was my hope. I was like, this is it. I have to just experience this. I need to go and find out what's going on with me. So I did go. I was, like I said, full of hope that I'm gonna go and find the results and find the actual reasons why I felt the way how I felt last few months. And because we're talking, after I had all my tests done with my regular physician, we're talking, a few months passed by, and my health wasn't even getting any better. It was actually going worse. So this doctor did run a couple tests that was a little different than what I had before. And I was diagnosed with things like Hashimoto.
Okay.
I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. I was diagnosed with some type
Mold.
of virus, which I don't remember right now, but it was one of the like viruses. I was diagnosed with H. pylori bacteria. So I felt some answers, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna start doing what needs to be done. I was put on some type of plan, supplements. Um, so I was kind of like trying to stick to the plan. I was going with every single direction and every single advice I got. The symptoms were hiding a little bit. I can say I was a little bit like getting better, but then they were coming back, and I was still like, okay, I'm doing what I needed to do. I was put on certain plan. I see some results, but I know how I can feel when I feel good, and that
Right.
was close to what I expected. So we talking again, few months pass by, a lot of money, and because obviously with supplements, with different visits, and I'm talking even regular insurance, coverage with deductibles and co-pays, we're talking a lot of money. And I still wasn't there, and I just didn't know what else to do. This point was so hopeless. I just decided that I had to just take it in my hands. And I was, the problem I was having with my holistic doctor was I was there for an office visit. The first few visits were very, very often because he wanted to see the patterns. He wanted to see we were going over test results. So I had few visits back to back, but after that, I was sent home for a month with certain supplements and just see how you do. Like
Right.
a month,
That's so common.
long. And when you don't feel good, a month is like a year. And yes, I tried so hard and I was so organized and I never missed a day of my supplements, but going for a month without really no directions or no follow-up, or just going with like not knowing if it's going to work or not, was a long time. So
right,
after visit and visit and visit for a few months, I'm like, okay, this is not working.
right.
I can't go another month after month and trying to figure it out and just trying certain different supplements or different options, and I don't just not getting results. And so that's how I found Dr. Allen. That's how we met. We
So,
we connected online. So
yes. So tell me,
happened.
because you had every test, and I mean that's something that I've seen the results of all of those tests, and honestly, that's something sometimes I feel like, again, even with holistic providers, that they can still kind of chase after the symptoms. Hence the the Lyme test and the mold test and the I mean, literally every test that you can imagine, she had it done, and not just once. Some of them she had done multiple times. And so what was different when you came on board with my program, which clearly you stated, like, my program's not something that we do have an increased level of communication, because it's a coaching program. It's a let me show you, here's the recipe and this is what we're going to follow, but it's not just supplement and meal plan, it's a holistic approach.
If I had a question, like I shouldn't, a short text, and I knew I'm gonna get an answer within a day, the longest. It probably most of the time the same day. So that really would like you said, overall approach. It wasn't just the tests that were done, but just overall approach to the program is different than
Right.
what I had experience with before.
Yes. So what we did, and what no one had done with Dorota before this point, is, again, one, I can't emphasize enough, the quality of labs that are being used are really, really important. but also really stepping back and not chasing those symptoms, but taking a step back to see genetically what were her tendencies for her health to unravel. And then also her underlying root cause was completely missed, right? Which was a severe gut issue, a gut dysbiosis. And that was contributing, I mean, to a lot of her symptoms. I mean, you were diagnosed with what, like Hashimoto's, chronic fatigue, headaches, I mean, severe. And
hair loss, I mean, you name it.
so just to give everyone an idea, because she had been working kind of holistically for about a year before you came into my program, correct?
Here, but close, yes.
Yeah. And so I track, not only do we do comprehensive testing to really be able to see what that underlying root cause is, so we can support the body, not from let's support these symptoms, but let's actually step away from the body and see which biological pathways are being blocked. So that way we can support the body, but in a systematic approach, so that that way, you know, there was hormone disruption, but first we had to clear the gut and get that working efficiently. So that way she wasn't having such an inflammatory response. And when that was coupled with her inflammatory markers for genetics, it was kind of this perfect storm. So really just taking a step away and supporting the body as a whole, I think, was the key for Dorota's healing. But when she came into the program, so I do what's called a medical symptom questionnaire. Her score was at a 47, which, you know, we've had some people well into the 100. So that means she'd been doing really good work. And as she mentioned, she was a really healthy person before the symptoms started. But by January, you are all the way down to a 10 on that 11 on that medical symptom questionnaire. So, you know, a few lingering symptoms, but as a whole, I mean, I remember you saying like how this has impacted your life was that you loved to travel with your family and you guys would take great trips, and you haven't even been able to do that. And now you're talking about what are you going to eat whenever you travel again. And so that's just so exciting that you're now capable of doing that.
Yes, I like when I joined your program, I was so hopeless. I didn't even think I can ever leave my house and go places again, because I just was that sick. And people
Right.
don't understand, like I said, I still try to go with regular life activities, but what I was feeling and how I was feeling, like I can't even explain it right now, like what was going on with me. And as much as my family was surrounded, they probably didn't feel all my symptoms either, because I just didn't, like at one point I just decided to stop complaining. Not that I was complaining to
Right.
begin, but I was telling them about my symptoms, but I just thought, oh my gosh, maybe I just have to live with this for the rest of my life. How do I learn to? But at the same time, I was just like, well, how do you live with this? Like there was no life. Everything in your head and around was like turning around the symptoms, and it was just taking my whole life away. Like I was like, when I look back now, like even, you know, going to just about the same time last year, I don't even know how I did it. Like I think God was with me at this time, because I just wasn't that I was really close to like just give up, you know, and which is sad. It's really sad, but it's just the way how it was, that you like I had no hope, nobody to turn to. My family, as much as supported they didn't know what else to do. It was really, really frustrating, and to the point where where it was like close to giving up. It
Right.
was.
Well, Dorota, congratulations on your results. You did the work. So I had the plan and you executed brilliantly. So I think it was such an honor to get to work with you and to be able to guide you through that process. And hopefully now, my biggest thing is to always empower my clients moving forward with all the tools that you need to continue this success. And I really do. I am confident that you will be able to do that.
Well, that program changed me so much. I mean, overall experience that I I look at life so differently now. I appreciate every single day. Like I said, I still am very successful in my career. I was a very organized person. I was always in a management field, so I was always very, very up to the point, never sugar-coated anything. But I never also look at people with not that I want to discredit anyone, but I always looked up at people to are they at my standards or not? And and I think what I was missing, I was not looking at them as okay, there might be something going on in their life, and they might be just situations that affecting what they do or how they act or where they in their where they in their career or their lives. And but I think I just became so much less judgmental. I look at people with just a different approach. I actually started to like just be a little bit more active in a couple different charities that I've never really I did donate here and there, but never really pay attention what people do and what it is for. I just look at people completely different. I just look at life different. Because when you have a sickness and you getting better, you just start appreciating things completely differently.
Right.
You look at things this is, oh my God, I I can do this now that I couldn't. You just know that what you were missing, and
Right.
it's just such a beautiful thing that you can just enjoy things again, and just perspective that you look at now, it's it's completely different. It is
That's
I'm
awesome.
so much more laid back now and chill.
Yes.
Even people
Yay!
say that oh my gosh, not that they say they were scared of me, but they always
Right.
oh my gosh, you were always the one who just we needed to be on top of things, and we want we couldn't complain, and you always said just deal with it and be figure it out. You were just that person that we knew everything has to be in place, and
Right.
and do I still let it go? No, but I just have different approach.
Or
Things still
patience.
have to make happen, but I can joke with people. I can just I listen to their life stories. I ask them how's the family. I know their name of their kids now. That I really never had that relationships with them before. It
Right.
was all very, very direct. It was all about certain goals, how we approach certain projects. It was never I feel family now, and they say it too, which is oh my God. And they don't even know half of what I went through. They
Right.
knew I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't just giving them a lot of details, so they don't know a lot what was going on. I actually open a little more now when I feel better about what was going on, but they just say oh my gosh, you're not the same. You just a completely different person, which in a good way. And I'm just so appreciative that I have people around me that actually see that change,
Right.
which is awesome, because like I said, and it just made me a different person, which
Well, we do again. That is. Oh, we lost your video for a second, Dorota. Oh, well, we lost her. It's okay. We were nearing the end. The one thing that I was going to say to her is that, our program is a lot more than just supplements and diet. What she's talking about is the mindset piece that we work on, and gratitude, tons of gratitude and positive affirmations, and actually future pacing and seeing yourself in your healthiest and happiest state. And we do that on a daily basis. It's one of our disciplines that we teach in the program that has to be done every single day in order to, it is truly, you have to have your mind in the right space in order for your physical body to follow suit. And so that is what she was explaining. We do make people very aware of their interpersonal relationships that they're having with other people in their life, but also their intrapersonal relationship, which is so important. What is the conversation that you're having with yourself each and every day? But anyhow, I am so grateful. I hope you guys enjoyed this and listening to Dorota's story. She was such an inspiration and so amazing to work with. She truly got great results. So if this is something, if you want to learn more about our program, I'm more than happy. I do free orientation calls to see if you're a right fit. And if so, we can share some of the details of what that looks like so you can book that call. All right, have a great day.